What is going on, you guys? So, guess where we are? We are over visiting Turdzilla, and that is a nice sight to see. The good old 4-valve engine is chilling in here. So I'm gonna be working on a few different things to get this thing ready to go. So I'm gonna start by taking off the harness off of the old 2-valve to get this ready to go onto the car. Alright, so we got the wiring harness off of the car. We do have a few vacuum line things here that we can actually put back on the brown car. That way the brown car has some upgraded, some better PCV line and the line that goes to the throttle body or the IAC. So I'm going to continue tearing this down. I'm actually going to take the intake manifold off because we sold that to a friend. So let's go do that. Alright, now we're good to pull the intake manifold. Just going to kind of wiggle it out of here so we get it around the EGR. I just kind of bent the EGR because I don't care about it. And I'm going to pull this out. Alright, so I've got the intake manifold off right there. I took the fuel rails off. EGR just bent over because no one cares about that. Harness is over here. And I got a bunch of parts that I can take home. A spare IAC, spare coils for 2-valve. EGR I don't need. And then I'm selling this to a friend who needs it for his swap. And then this is the harness that we're going to be modifying. So we made a very interesting discovery here. So these are the ports of an NPI 2-valve. So it turns out that Turdzilla actually had an NPI 2-valve this whole time, along with an NPI intake. So that's pretty funny. So these types of ports are the NPI 2-valve ports. So that is why this car only made a whopping 216 wheel horsepower. Pretty interesting discovery here. So I'm going to continue taking off whatever I need off of this, including the AC compressor and the rest of the harness, which is basically the power harness. And basically I'm going to flip this over, pull the oil pan off, and we'll get to see what this thing looks like. What's up?
What's up, man? Where are we parking here?
Just kind of like turn and Nick will direct you into the lift. So I got what I needed off the engine. I flipped it over because we're going to pull the oil pan. I don't really care if I break the valve covers because we're just going to send this back to the junkyard for a core for Nick's engine. We got the AC compressor off, the power harness, all the good stuff over there. I think I might need to take off my water pump here, and we're going to pull the oil pan and see what this thing looks like. Then we got Lionel's car here. How's this thing looking, Nick?
Looking stock.
Stock AF. Lionel here is picking up the off-road H-pipe. Nick's gonna install it here for him. Yep, stock, good old H-pipe. Using a little PB blaster to get those loose. Yes, I do. And that is what we're gonna be taking off. See, what do you got? Magnaflows?
You let me know.
Oh, you know what this is? That is Borla Touring catback. See that? It's the Steeda catback. So that's Borla Touring.
I'd like to know.
It's gonna sound really good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
like to know
very, very deep.
Good.
And I know you like it deep.
Right here. Did I keep that on? That's the
Sway bar. That's normal.
Right. Okay.
The car looks clean underneath.
Yeah, I mean, I checked it out as much as I could when I got it, so.
Nice, dude. It's gonna sound really good.
I hope so.
Not extremely loud like your Mach 1, but
That's because the SLP's on the Mach 1 though, I don't care. It's not a big deal. I kind of want like a deeper tone anyways. Different from the other one.
engine turned over, ready to be. I'm gonna take the oil pan off and basically see what this thing looks like underneath and see what's messed up. Nick's putting the off-road H-pipe on this. It's like a speed demon. Alright, so we got the oil pan off, and from what I can tell, there isn't really metal in the oil pickup. But let's see if we see anything else. What I was guessing is that maybe the chain snapped. which might cause this thing to have like no compression. I know the head gasket is definitely gone on this thing, but so I'm gonna see something else. So after looking at this thing, it's not as bad as you would expect. I found some metal, especially over here on this piston, or this rod right here. There's a little bit of metal shavings there. Going down to there. There is still oil in this thing. I just kind of flipped it over the best way and easiest way to kind of take a look. But what I did notice is that this chain over here has a lot of slack. So most likely it either snapped or something broke when it got pretty hot. And I would guarantee that this thing has a blown head gasket as well. And it was this side chain that I noticed had a lot of play. So more than likely that is what snapped. And Nick is over here working on this. Gonna get this H-pipe bolted up. It's gonna sound really good with this this cap back here.
So it's like random.
Yep.
She done.
No more freaking.
All right, rev it up. I want to hear this. Do it again. You like that? Sounds good.
Way better.
Off-road H-pipe and Borla touring. Yep.
I'm happy.
You approve?
Yeah.
Exhaust leak gone, and now it's loud.
Oh yeah.
But it's not too loud.
No,
that's the cool thing.
I don't need it crazy loud though. I'm fine with that.
Sweet. Touch the this side, the chain. You feel the play?
Yeah.
A lot of play?
Tensioner's worn out. I think he just overheated it and killed it.
Don't see any.
I mean, there's a little bit of metal. It's probably from the chain guide breaking. That coolant passage I showed you is probably where it died.
Yeah.
It's puddled the inside of the fucking block, overheated it, probably just toasted the bearings.
Shine the light in the oil pan?
Yep, nice. Been grinding metal for a minute.
Still not as bad as the Cobra engine.
No.
That's funny.
I think it had chunks of metal in it.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I'll slap the oil pan back on it and flip it over. Do we need that?
You know why I know this is from a Lincoln?
How do you know that?
You got that recording?
Yep.
This guy right here is not straight. Lincolns have curved ones that go at an angle. Mustangs are straight out.
Oh yeah?
So that's a Lincoln motor. NPI Lincoln motor.
Alright. We don't need the oil cooler housing. We have one on there.
Yeah. Just need the, well, we got a new temp gauge, or a new oil gauge.
Sensor. I took the water pump pulley off. The tensioner is probably shot on this, so it's probably not worth taking it off.
Junk.
So I think she's ready to go pretty much in the scrap pile at the junkyard, dude.
Yeah.
NPI 2 valve. Who would have thought? I actually had a suspicion because of the oil cap being on the wrong side.
Well, the Windsor motor can do that.
This one should be a Windsor because it's a 99, but
It's a Romeo.
Romeo NPI. Yeah, if it's NPI, it's Romeo. Another spot that we found interesting was that the gasket on the intake manifold was definitely broken and pretty torn up. So that could have been a cause of the coolant leak, or cause of some overheating too. Alright guys, so I know that today's video wasn't too crazy in the progress on the car, but it helps cleaned up a bunch of things. I have a bunch of things to go back home, and kind of just cleaned up the shop, helped Nick get cleaned up, helped Nick with the H-pipe over there, and Lionel's car sounds pretty sick. I got the bumper back on Turdzilla, and kind of just tore down the 2 valve, took off the harness, a bunch of just basic stuff. to kind of get ready to, you know, kind of finish off the swap. So guys, make sure you slap that like button down below, leave a comment, let us know what you think. I know we didn't get to tear down the 2 valve as much, but I'm pretty positive the head gasket is busted. The timing chain is very, very loose on that one side. So there's definitely some issues there. We aren't going to take it apart because that's going as a core for Nick's Coyote swap. Basically, he needs to just send back a V8 and he gets $400 back. So essentially selling that thing for $400 is pretty good. Make sure you slap that like button down below. Check out Nick's page, it's Florida Auto Surgeons. It's right down there in the description below. Click on it, like it. And if you need Nick to help you out with anything, let him know. And we'll see you guys next time.